Welcome, everyone. My name is Jeffrey St. Laurent, and as you can see, I have a phenomenal guest waiting in the bullpen. So before we bring her in, I just want to go over a few things. I help coaches transition to a full-time business. This is one that is well on her way, and we're going to share her story with you today. I have all great resources on my website, sellingcoaching.com. You can start off right on the homepage, enter your name and email. That's going to get you a great resource. It's also going to put you in my community so you can stay up to date on what I'm doing and also share some great education that I share. And also be sure to check out my university, which is where videos like this go, along with success stories. So let's talk success stories. And Peshka, welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So we connected the beginning of, actually not last year, but the year before, like in December.
It was December.
You did my 14-day challenge, right?
I did.
And after the 14-day challenge, you're like, you reached out, like I follow up, but you reached out and you're like, Jeff, let's talk about working together.
Exactly. I was so grateful for that opportunity. That 14-day challenge was definitely uncomfortable, but it's what I needed as a recent graduate from IPEC. It's like, all right, now what do I do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So share with people right now, I want to take them through the timeline. Like in the past 7 months, you've done, I mean, talk about massive shifts. It's wild. So tell us about where you were at when, you did the challenge and we started our work, because you did my 5-month program with me starting in about like February or so. So tell everyone, just so they get a snapshot of kind of like, where were you at in your life, your business, so they get a feel for where that was.
Right, exactly. So the reason that I became a core energy coach or certified in it is because I was looking for a coach for me. So I was trying to figure out me, and I'm like, what better way than to have some really great knowledge as a coach? So as that happened, and as I, got that certification, I'm like, now what do I do with it? So you, of course, the universe drives the best people to us. And all of a sudden, here's this guy, Jeff. All right, take my 14-day challenge. And I'm like, all right, let's just do this and see what happens. Super uncomfortable. I got to tell you, getting up every single day and doing something that I had never done before was not easy, but I committed, I did it. And I was traveling at the time. So it was even more kind of challenging with the 3-hour time frame. But once I did that, I'm like, all right, this is a guy that can help me define what my role as a coach is going to look like. What is it that I want to do with this? Because I knew it wasn't just to coach me. It was the delivery and how I could help others. So that transition was really a natural one, because the 14-day kind of set the stage for growth. And once I completed that, I'm like, okay, I really needed a roadmap. Where do I go with this?
Absolutely. And so we started off, and by the way, I was impressed right out of the gates, because let's say out of 10 people who do a 14-day challenge, there's like 1 or 2 who actually like follow it to a T and do every single day. And right out of the gates, there's always people that start off hot, like, oh yeah, they're in it. But as soon as you hit like day 3, day 4, but you just smoked every single day on time, and that, like you just did everything. And so I knew you were serious. So when you started talking to me about like, hey, can we do some work together? Ended up doing the 5-month program. I was like so excited to work with you, because I knew you were dialed in and you were focused.
Yeah.
So now we start the work. So let's start to talk about that 5 months in terms of like you said, starting to define your message and figure out, what you're doing in this space. Talk us through kind of a little bit about kind of what you started to learn and see.
Yeah, right. Well, I think one of the most impactful things that you walked me through was who is my audience? Who am I talking to? And then what's my why, right? So incredibly important, because I think as we dive into this coaching industry or this coaching platform, whatever it is that we want to call it, or whatever it looks like for us, if we don't know our why, you can really end up spinning those wheels. So once that was the trajectory that pushed me forward, because it was super helpful to understand those things. And then all of the homework, and I'm a huge proponent of homework. I love homework, love homework. So all the homework that you provided was instrumental in helping me to understand where I wanted to go. It wasn't like directive, like, all right, this is what your business is going to look like. This is what you're going to generate. This is your audience. This is where I think you should be. It was really more the way coaching should be, helping me define what I already knew. I just didn't know how to pull it out.
Yeah. And then a lot of that comes from your story. And
Yes.
who you are, where you've come from, and which cultivated your core message.
Right.
Yeah. Which ultimately for you, you were in the midst of wrapping up on your book, which we'll talk about as well. Can you share, would you be willing to share kind of an abbreviated version of your story? You know, just for people, I feel like it's so important because then I want to talk about the book too, and the trajectory of how you pulled that in there. Because, I mean, reading the book and hearing it from you several times and different iterations of it as we've worked together and spent a lot of time, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
You know, to be in the position you're in based on what you've gone through is pretty amazing in and of itself. Never mind being a leader and a strong voice. So maybe if you just share with the listeners, just kind of your version of your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is such a blessing to be in my story for sure. So I came from a very difficult and traumatic place and did a lot of work moving through that. And it wasn't like healing, recovering, it was moving through that. And I think we continue to move through life. My greatest passion is people and connection. So I very much can feel if I'm in a space with someone that feels very invisible or lonely or disconnected, I'm drawn to that person. So how do I effectively help that person? Number one, just hold space and let them know they're seen, right? So how can I do that on a bigger scale? It's one thing to find a little lost lady in an airport and she has no idea where to go, and to kind of help her, guide her along and be there for her. That's definitely impactful. But how can I impact a lot of people from my story and what I learned through my journey? So, I think that our most difficult times in life are also our greatest lessons. It's what we do with them. It's how we react to them. It's the choices that we make. So I understood that although the universe kind of said, hey, you know what? Here's a great opportunity to understand core energy. The universe also had a greater plan. Here's what you can do with what you've learned. Is most impactful to me. And I can't even describe how excited and blessed I am to be able to do this,
Well, to have the framed outlook of it, right? So that comes into the book, which hardcover, like done beautifully. And that's without even reading it. But once you read it, that's when you'll get like the details of what you've been through. And like you said, a memoir of adoption, abuse, and healing. And what I so admire and respect about you is like when someone gets this and reads this, is they're going to hear what the details, and for you to be able to look at all that, when we talk about trauma recycled, right? Is you're so blessed.
Yeah.
You're blessed to have gone through that.
Yeah.
And so you bring such a strong view, like a complete shift in the way people typically look at it, and how they are a victim, they stay a victim. And you're kind of like that voice that says, wait a minute, no, it's not that at all.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. One of the things that I learned, there's all different kinds of modalities of work, as we call it, right? So we all come from trauma, right? Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a job, or a location, or weather related, right? There's trauma in everything for people, right? Just everybody's got a different gauge for it. But one of the things that was so incredibly important was the power of connection. So I actually went to a support group for other girls, women that had either experienced incest or some type of a sexual abuse. And that blew my mind how all of a sudden I didn't feel alone. I all of a sudden felt like, oh my God, there's somebody else. Thank you for showing up. It was a really, really big deal. And it continues to be so. So that's the whole reason I wrote my book, is to share with people, not just my journey and how I went from sitting in the really bad stuff to rising above and going, wow, look what I can do with this stuff. So it's like, how do I help someone get from here to there? It's choices. It's how we react. And these experiences often that we have aren't directed towards us personally. It's not like, you know what, Jeff, I'm just going to whack you with some trauma, that just because you're Jeff. It doesn't happen like that. These are experiences that we choose how we react to them. It's way different. It's a mind shift in such an amazing, deep way that, that things that happened to me as a young child didn't happen because of me. And I hate that when people say it wasn't your fault. Just strip that. I mean, I think that we try to help others with words that we think make us feel better. All right. It makes us feel better to say to someone, oh, it wasn't your fault. How about just simply holding space for someone and letting them know they're seen is way better than those words. It really is.
Yeah. And then now it starts to come from within, because everyone can say and tell whatever they want to, but when it comes from within, it's different, because now it's a belief, it's a philosophy, it's part of who they are.
Yeah, right.
That's
because
the essence of coaching.
We have the answers.
Yes, we all have the answers.
We have the answers. So that's what great coaches do. We help others pull their answers out.
So now you're doing the work, right? So we're defining your message, who we're really going after, kind of really nailing that in there. Your book gets published, you start getting it out there. You've got your real estate career in its peak in Florida, peak.
Yeah.
Like people coming at you like you would not believe.
Yeah.
So talk about the something happening with your brother and having taken care of him, right? So just all little pieces in your life of just full on coming at you. Talk about the work. Talk about the day-to-day, the interaction, what the development of some of the things that we started to do with the book, with your membership program, with the website, with everything, just so people get a feel for like, okay, we're in the trenches doing the work. What is it like?
Yeah, right. So I think that you just nailed it initially. So it's not anything like all of a sudden you flip a light switch and you're going to go from like this really bad place to like, So it's like, it's the work in between is really, it's self-discipline. It's understanding that if you want to have an exceptional life, you need to be an exceptional student, right? So we've got teachers in all different shapes and forms. Some are people, some are books, some are animals, some is nature. I mean, it's all different, right? There's different layers, different modalities to choose from. So I've spent decades working on me, and I probably took the slow road, right? The road less traveled, but that's okay, because it ended up where I am right now. So when you begin to trust yourself to your reactions and how life presents itself, right? So for example, right, I am getting ready to sell my house and I'm going to buy another brand new one just a few months ago. And then all of a sudden, my brother ends up in this horrific fire and he needs someone to care for him. For sale sign comes out and I change that, cancel my contract because I am already under contract, and I take care of my brother. And I see the blessing in that. I mean, as horrific as it was, there was a connection I was able to have that I wouldn't have otherwise. All right. Unfortunately, at his physical expense. However, the universe will guide, right? So instead of sitting there going, oh my God, look at this. So I can't buy the house I want. So my life is put on hold, right? I could have had that reaction. Instead, I chose, thank God he's alive and I get to be with him. So we put off selling the house and we get to spend 5 magical months together. And then I just feel this sense of like, you know what? My life is going in a different direction. My real estate business is flourishing and I love to help people, which is what I do, which is why I do so well, because I'm not sales driven. I'm not transactional. I'm very relational. So the real estate business kind of really just started to just work on its own, referral based, but I'm not fulfilled, right? So I listen to that when I say trust yourself with reactions, it's also trust yourself when you talk, when you hear your spirit saying, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. Got to pay attention to it. So I'm like, pivot. Okay, you know what? All of a sudden, this wicked sense of urgency, you need to sell the house and you need to stop living in default because you're on this treadmill to a brick wall. You're in default mode. If you continue on this path, your soul is lacking. It's not fulfilling what you're here to do. And all these years and decades that I sat there going, what is my purpose? Why am I here? I begin to understand and realize I already am my purpose. I just have to listen to me and begin to live it. So that transition happened so incredibly fast, and all these things that you could choose to sit and go, look what happened to me, began to go, wow, what a blessing that I had this experience. So having the time with my brother brought us really close. Having the time to listen to me gave me time to really do that I wouldn't have had. And then all of a sudden I sell my house, quickest house I ever sold, 14 days, start to finish. Okay, so here I am, and I decide to get rid of everything. I'm done, gone. The only things I kept are the things that I need that reside in my little Subaru. So everything's gone. I mean, furniture, like I donated so much stuff and it just felt great. I have no attachments. And I'm planning this beautiful life with my little dog. We're going on this surrender adventure. We're literally going to live wherever we want to be. So if we feel like we want to be here, well, that's where we're going to go. We're going to live there for 4 days, 4 months, whatever. We have no agenda. 4 days before I am set to close on my house and move on my way, he just dies. So I sit there for a minute, like, all right, catch your breath, because you have that human freak out moment where you can't breathe. Then I realize the blessing. It's not, when we look at life as loss, we miss the blessing. And had I done that, I mean, I might not have moved. I might have just sat in my stuff. And then what? Then where am I? So, feeling gratitude for things that humans feel are loss is very difficult to do. But when you do the work, you just see these magical things happen, and these things appear that you can't even describe. It's really, I wish I could bottle it up and share it with people. The only thing that I can share is that you matter. And you can choose to have a magical life. And there are people that will help move you in that direction. Like what you do, Jeff. I mean, that's just like, imagine all the people that you help being able to get from this dream of being a coach to actually implementing it. I mean, that's just got to like fill your heart like nothing else. I can't imagine, it's beautiful.
I hope people really hear the things you share. For someone, myself, who's been developing myself for 20 plus years, personally, professionally, entrepreneurial, teaching this stuff, etc. We're sitting here in the group, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna move. And we're like, okay, like, yeah, I gotta sell my house. And knowing, like you said, here you are in real estate, multiple six-figure income, doing phenomenally well. Like most people would work a lifetime for that. And you're like, I just feel, in this cocoon, and you listen to your body. And like you said, you pause to take care of your brother. And then you realize, okay, you know what? I just can't be in this space. So you put your house for sale, you sell everything in a house that you bought not too long ago, renovated, did a gorgeous place, and you're like, no, and we're just gonna get in the car, and then Wesley, your dog, passes away, and you're like, yeah, and then you're off. And so the power in what you do is, I've always seen for you is you embody it. Mm-hmm. You embody this viewpoint, perspective, philosophy. Like it's not like it's manufactured, or you're trying, or it's, you look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I am beautiful. Right. I am like, and you're trying so hard to believe that, but you really don't. It's such a part of you. Yeah. And that's the testament to what you're doing. And you have bottled it up, and it's bottled up in you, and you're releasing it. That's what you're doing with your business.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. It is amazing.
So now you're not in Florida.
Nope.
Your house is sold. I mean, like, and tell us about where the weeks have taken you now.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, the beautiful thing about the real estate industry is that I can do it very effectively remotely. So, my business is literally 5 years old just this week. And I have helped people negotiate sales and purchases from Africa, from Portugal, from all different places on the planet. And I didn't have to do it from my office in Venice to be extremely effective. So I have understood and developed a way to run a business where it doesn't require my body to be in an actual location. Right. So there are times where I do have to do that. And then, of course, that's just very easy to do. We have airplanes. So, yeah. So after I sold my house, I needed to go breathe for a minute. So I found a cottage that was on a salt marsh on a little island in Florida, extremely remote, extremely quiet, no grocery store for an hour. And I just went and I just sat and I was just in nature, which honest to God, that is the most amazing pharmacy on the planet, right? Nature. We don't need anything but nature. And there's a reason for that connection, but I just sat and I just was like, wow. I mean, the one thing that is overwhelmed with gratitude. I mean, here I am free. My most important value to me is freedom. And I am. So I just kind of hung out there for a little bit, enjoyed all this beauty, and now I'm just traveling. I am currently in Vegas. I will be in Yosemite later today, and then I will be in Lake Tahoe, and then I'll be in Massachusetts, and then I will be in Tennessee, and I will be in North Carolina, and then this amazing trip to Canada, and then probably Croatia. Switzerland. So I've just got, I really have just the world is there for us. Do you know what I mean? It
Yes.
really is. And it was so easy for me in my younger years to feel like I have a job. I can't go anywhere because I have a job. It would have been easy to do that. Fortunately, I didn't let that 100% ingrain itself in me. It was 75% ingrained in me because I did the status quo. You're supposed to do the things like everybody else does the things. You got to have a house, you got to have a car, you got to have $1,000 cell phone, you got to have all this stuff. And then you realize, why am I taking a vacation? Because we all say this, right? I've done it too. I need a break. I just need a vacation. Well, stop and really think about that. What do we need a vacation from? The choices that we've made are that horrible that we need to vacate from it? Mm-hmm. So all of this started really just really stirring in me to where I'm like, I want to live intentionally and not by default. So if I find myself in a place that's very uncomfortable, what can I do to change that? And that's really been the whole process. It's not like I'm irrational. I'm not being irresponsible. I'm listening to me. And I'm taking off those chains that, society just slaps those labels on us and we wear them proudly. It doesn't have to be that way. So that's why I do what I do. And I will still run a very effective real estate business through that.
And all the while, talk about the coaching aspects of it, right? And what you've seen and what you've been doing there. Because amidst all of that, you've still been getting that message out there. And building your coaching business too.
It's so cool. So I started a podcast. It's called Trauma Recycled, Rooted in Rising. I have also started a YouTube channel and I've been doing speaking engagements. So I just spoke recently at a church, which was just like, wow. I mean, if somebody had told me 10, 15, 20 years ago that would have happened, I would have never in a million years believed it. But I mean, what a blessing and what an opportunity to share my story, because we all, whether we're sitting in church or we're sitting in our living room, we're all experiencing these things. And how can we help someone else shift? Because we all learn from each other, whether we believe we have value or not, we do. So later today, I'm going to be talking to someone in charge of a women's prison system. And how can I help, right? Because the only difference between them and me is that I simply didn't get caught, honestly. Do you know what I mean? The majority of women in the prison system were sexually abused in some way, shape, or form. Think about that. So there's just such a mission. I'm just super excited about it. And I will just talk all day long about my story and how it can help impact someone else. Because that's the purpose.
Yeah. And you give people, you give women a voice, right? Through your voice.
You have
And they
no idea.
realize, yeah, it's so huge. It's
You
so
can
funny
imagine.
because you're when we started this off, I'm like, well, where are you now, right? Because we stopped our work about a month, 2 months ago, whatever it was, and I'm like, where are you? I'm like, wait, don't tell me. You're gonna be. We'll talk about it on the show, and you're like, oh, I'm in Vegas, and I'm in my hotel lobby, and as you were talking about 5 or 7 minutes ago, talking just brightness, anabolic brightness, just beaming off of you. I'm envisioning like these people coming in the lobby, and I'm like, you're gonna look around, and there's gonna be
It's
like a
happening.
crowd around you. Like, who is this woman, and what is she talking about?
Yeah.
It's amazing. But
Yeah.
that's what I want to show the coaches who watch this, right? Is you have this brightness
Hmm.
that, and you're not trying anything. It's not hard. It's not like I gotta earn money because I want to take these trips and I want to travel, and like you're just doing it
Right.
and you're figuring it out as you go.
Right.
And there's an ease about you, and it's not like, oh, I've got to build my coaching business and I've got to get clients and I've got to sell my book, and it's like you're finding the natural ways where this shows up for you, and you're doing it with passion and joy, and because there's a purpose for you.
Exactly. It really understanding energy, right? So my certification was a lot more than just a certification. It really understanding how we show up is what we get back, right? So money, for example, and I'm very blessed to have been able to help some people move through this and understand that when you throw scarcity and fear about money out there to the universe, that is exactly what you're going to get back. But when you can really feel freedom and abundance, that money will come to take care of you. So it's like an element of respect that will come as well. And that's powerful because I'm still running a business, but I'm not going to be out there generating multiple, 6-figure income, because that's not what drives me. I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by freedom, and I'm driven by connection. That's going to be abundant in itself. And I will always be okay. There's just that trust inside that if you can, as a coach, we can help people find that in themselves and how vital what we do is. It's life changing
Yeah,
what we do.
it's life changing.
Yeah.
In closing this up, what do you want to share for coaches who are in a spot where, somewhere along that beginning part of their journey, right, where they're
Yeah.
getting it going, they're thinking about getting it going, they're going, and they really want to expand and grow, from your experiences with the work we've done, and also just in life. What would you want to share with them that could, you feel, could help them on their path?
Yeah, I think the most important part to that is, what is your why? Like, seriously, what is your why? All right. So I know that on the surface, we have some whys, but I mean, really sitting in nature, very quiet with a pen and paper, and defining what is your why. So, what is the root of why you became a coach? And, I don't believe that many coaches become coaches because they think they're going to make $1 million. I don't think that's the root. So what is the root, and how do you want to convey that? And who do you want to help? Like, really embody that feeling. It's not just like figures and smoke and mirrors. It's really, what is my why? Who am I intentional for? That's super, super important, I think.
Yeah. And I'm hearing from you is like, when you're saying that, it's really understand what that is. It's like most coaches have probably heard find your why. Simon
Yeah.
Sinek wrote the great book, right? Start with
Yeah.
why. So it's not like that, but you're just saying like, don't just, oh yeah, I've heard that before. You're
Yeah.
like, no, 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 no. Really understand your why from a gut that
Exactly.
drives you as the beacon light soul guide.
100%. Yeah. What is really so deep inside of you that you feel is so aligned with your coaching? what is it? You know, I mean, for me, I know that it's trauma driven. It's like feeling so incredibly invisible and hopeless and such despair that you don't believe you can raise your eyes. That's my why.
Yeah.
How can I help someone that feels that desperate, that degree of desperation, begin to lift?
And then now you go after that, and
I
everything else
love that.
follows.
The universe brings that to me.
Yes.
And I welcome it.
Absolutely. And just to couple that with what we understood about you and what you understand well is your two core values of connection and freedom.
Yes.
That drives you more than anything else.
Yes.
So if you have connection and freedom and you're following your why, nothing else matters.
Correct.
And you can have billions of dollars or dollars.
Yes.
And still be completely fulfilled and happy.
100%.
You can
100%.
be driving a 20-year-old car or a brand new car.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter your surroundings. If you have those things, that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's a gift to know you.
Likewise.
It's a gift. It's a pleasure. It's an honor for your trust to have taken me on to help you start this path off. And I'm just so thrilled to be able to see where you take this. And I know that we'll stay connected forever, whether we work again or not. Like, I'm going to be on your radar. I'm going to be texting you every now and then. Like, so where are you now? And you're going to be like, Africa, Croatia, like just Boston.
Yeah, exactly,
you know, and it's so excited to see the journey and the effect of all these people you're going to help along the way.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And we definitely will always stay connected. I mean, a coach needs a coach.
Absolutely. And for anybody want to check out your book and what you do, tell them, I'll put this in the link as well, but tell them where they can check that out.
Yeah, sure. So it's on Amazon. So Trauma Recycled is the name of the book on Amazon. It's also on Audible. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on a number of different places. And my website is annpeshka.com.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat so people can check it out.
Great. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you share. And thank you everyone for listening. And hopefully you walk away from this just completely changed and have these weapons of perspective, which is what they are.
Right.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.